So I get to ask this a lot by the really, really tiny contractor or the homeowner with this huge driveway is, hey, I don't want to do this full time. I have a little landscape business as a side gig because I got a full-time job somewhere. I only have a half-ton truck, or something along those lines. Or people just don't want to get that deep in the snow industry. They want it for the little bit of aggravation they got to take care of. Something like the small, like the Buyers MD80 or the new VMX 7.5 V plow is a great setup for the small half-ton trucks, and the price point, you just can't beat it. For the small contractor, a tailgate spreader is going to be your most cost-effective setup. I mean, they have some really, really cheap stuff out there for about $1,000, and they go all the way up to $4,000, depending on what brand you're getting with all the bells and whistles. It all depends on how carried away you want to get. Like my personal favorite tailgate spreader would be the Buyers TGS07. It's a very inexpensive spreader. It holds 800 pounds of salt. It'll run bulk, bag, calcium chloride, mag, flake. It'll do a 50-50 sand salt mix. It's really a great all-around spreader, and two people can get it in and out of the truck. It slides in the receiver hitch and it bounces on the bumper of the truck. That's something I would look at as the small contractor.
I try and educate the customer when asked, and try and steer them in the direction of containment type plows, whether it be an EXT or a V plow. I try and educate the customer on the amount of time saved pushing forward, the amount of reduced times you have to back up because you're carrying more snow. If you think about it, it's even kind of taking a little bit of liability off because now your truck's not in reverse as many times. As far as spreaders go, we just try and steer people in the direction of what they have the capability of loading. If somebody has access to a salt pile and a machine, obviously a bed-mounted salter is where we would steer them. The cost reductions of buying in bulk really offset the cost of the unit over time. But we see a mix between bed-mounted salters and smaller operators who just use tailgate salters and buy pallets of bag material.
Probably the most common for the one guy that's starting into the business is a V plow. An 8.5 stainless steel V plow literally will get almost any job done. Especially in New England when we actually have wet snow and heavy snow, having that V plow to break through that snow and push it out of the way, scoop it, stack it, it's really the best plow for that. Depending on what kind of plowing you're doing, obviously your plow changes, right? If you're doing a lot of parking lots, they have straight blades and XLSs, but as a one-stop, all-inclusive, I would say a V plow on the front and a poly hopper on the back of the polycaster. 8.5 and like a 1.5, you can fit that in anything. I mean, you can put it in a pickup truck, you can put it in a dump truck. So I mean, it's a really a good mix.
The biggest thing is find a dealer in your area that you can work with that has hours of operation during a storm and work with the product that they have. It's going to vary depending on what part of the country they're in. Every market's a little bit different. There's concentrations in certain areas. The biggest thing is a vehicle dealer and a plow dealer that give you hours and give you support when you need it. Don't try and go out and buy the biggest, baddest, best thing year one. Work yourself into it. Learn and then go from there.